Hey everybody, how we doing? Chase here. So I don't really have a clear cut way to put this because we've just been ranging for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days or something. So I'm just going to sort of do 11 days, do some live analysis here and what I think the possibilities are. Okay, so we're here on the daily. We have the Bollinger Bands pulled up. One of the plays we've been looking at is a potential bullish swing failure pattern from here. Like I said, I'll be waiting for the confirmation. So what does that mean? I'll probably be on, maybe the 1 hour. If I'm feeling a little risky, the 1 hour or the 4 hour or the daily, whichever we can get is probably a good sign. What it is the big players will look to grab the liquidity that's directly below these lows because we know, most retailers will have their stop losses set below here. If you entered any type of position around here, if you're entered position here, you're an average retail trader, you would most likely put your stop loss right below this level. So if you're unfamiliar with why things like this happen, make sure you watch my liquidity video or watch the video with Mark Chapman in the education where he talks about how the quote-unquote banks, and I'm not talking about banks in here, but he's talking about a different market, but the banks need to work, they need to operate in a level where people are panic selling, and that would occur below those levels. Okay, so we look for the the typical bullish swing failure pattern. We dip into the level and we close above. Okay, we close above this wick here. All right, so that's what we'll be watching for. 1 hour, obviously, depending on the time frame. 1 hour is going to be your riskiest, but you're going to get the most optimal entry. But no one's to say that it's good. 4 hour less risky, but the entry could be far gone already. And one day, I mean, it's the least risky, but the entry could, you could get some major swing failure. You could get like a major bullish SFP where you tag down here and you close all the way back up here on the daily, and then you're in tough shit because you would have to long from here with stop loss below that level right there, and that gets pretty crazy because that would be a very wide stop. All right, so I did find it interesting how the Bollinger Band is correlating with this bullish SFP idea. We'll just run through some other things I was looking at. TD's not giving us much still. It's just since we are ranging and the TD is telling us that we're ranging. You could see 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. It's not giving really any direction much of the trend. It's sort of starting to trend down a little bit, but nothing special. Our old TEMA strategy is just saying sort of bearish expansion to the downside. We would want to see a cross before we can feel at all bullish, and obviously, like we know, we are still in bear market. We continue to make these lower highs every time. In regards to altcoins and all those different things, it's very hard to become bullish until we stop making these lower highs. Okay, I definitely think with altcoins that now is definitely a time of high risk, high reward, because if that weekly level holds, I'm not sure where that chart is. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. We'll just do a quick move alts index. There it is. So if this level does hold, this weekly level, then you probably would see the alts in this index start to move up. I think we're talking Ripple, Ethereum, EOS, LTC, IOTA, Monero, a lot of alts in this index. And if we were to see a bounce off of this level, then potentially you could have bought the bottom on alts, but we don't know for sure yet, right? If we were to break down through this level, I mean, there's nothing. There's no floor down here. Okay, I'm not gonna say they're gonna go to zero, but this is the support level. It's pretty much, it looks like now or never for altcoins is what it sort of looks like. Okay. So let's see, what else did we want to look at here? We could check Ichi to see if it's telling us anything. Ichi, we're still getting that Technin support here, sort of cupping our candles. It closed below, would most likely be seen as bearish. I think that's mostly it for this. In terms of overall Bitcoin, like I said today in my channel, I wanted to chart out some new levels. You'll often find, when you're really getting, a lot of choppy price action, you'll find that, you sort of get lost in the small time frame moves and levels, and you begin to think that they're more significant than they actually are. So I just wanted to refocus myself and get prepared for the move that's to come. We know the weekend is typically slow. We know we've been ranging for about 10 days. Tomorrow could be a big day for movement. We'll have to wait and see. We are seeing here so far, we had, sort of a bearish candle here, right? Bulls attempted to push it up. Bears pushed it all the way back down. Then we had a doji here. So, bulls attempted to push it up. Bears attempted to push it down. Closed right in the middle. And here we had a, fairly bearish candle, even though all these candles are staying green. But once again, the bulls tried to push into the, supply zone here, and we'll talk about that in a second. And they're getting rejected all the way back down. Okay. Oh, this is on the 3-day, by the way. I'm sorry. We're on the 3-day chart here. As we know, and this 3-day will close tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, the 20th. So the 20th starts a new candle. So should close tonight. We do see here that as we're pushing into, the supply, we do know the more you test supply, the more likely it is to break. But on the same, side of that, look at the downside here. The more you test supply, the more likely it is to break. This green zone here is that bullish SFP idea that I was talking about with the Bollinger Bands from the other chart. Okay, that's what that represents. We can see on the daily here that we are testing this. We are testing the top a bit more. I suppose you could call it bullish, but I mean, we just had another double top here. That's definitely more along the bearish side. We're definitely getting some strong rejections from that area. It seems like a level that obviously bears are looking to hold. So, truth be told, guys, every now and then you get these type of scenarios where, it feels like it's very risky to try to pick a side. Hopefully the market makes up its mind soon, and we can just hop in on the trend. But that's really all I can say. I'm not seeing anything that really makes me want to, get into a position here. It's really, the honest nature of it. And we know from the group, multiple successful plays in days. And we also know from the group in the very beginning of the group that times can be slow. And, it is what it is. We can't be out here, like I said, I believe I showed this to you yesterday, but we can't be out here, shorting from this level, with a 400 and with a 390 point stop. It just doesn't work. You can't do that. If you want to be a successful trader, you can't be doing anything like that. I mean, if you are the type of person who plays very big swing positions, like I believe like someone like Don Alt, who is willing to long, this level, and maybe he'd have a 500 point stop loss, but understand that he's targeting he's targeting like the 8,000s. Okay, that's when it makes sense, right? But I don't really see anything here that speaks to that, because let's say you're bullish here, right? If you're bullish here and you want to, aim for the 8,000s or something, and you're gonna have, let's be generous here, you have to put it at least here below the SFP zone. You're gonna have a 700 point stop loss. You need to be aiming for at least 8,000s for just a 2 risk reward. And we definitely all know that a 700 point stop, I mean, you can't even use, you would have to use like 3 or 5x leverage to use a position like this. Otherwise, you'll get liquidated on the 10x. Okay, so there's just nothing that, and if also thinking about it is that if the move, moves aggressively, because we've been consolidating for so long, you might get wrecked one way or the other. There's not really. I just don't feel like there's much of a safe move here. I'm trying to say it any way I can, and that's why I took to drawing out some new levels today and trying to get prepared. But we could see the market is very indecisive. Look, we're just getting another doji today. Only 4 hours to the daily close, and we're going to end on a doji. We'll see how it moves, but really not getting any strong signals, in my opinion, as to the direction. I did like one thing that Michael said from ICT, the ICT guy. He said that it looks like this market is luring people into a false sense of security, and I've never, I feel like that's so true because it's just every time, like every time 5,800 is a good long or 6Ks is a good long, every single time it's a good long. So it could be a good long again, it really could be, but like I said, where's your invalidation point? Your invalidation point is a stop loss that's 600 or 1,000 points away. That's when it's invalidated from this level. Because it could easily drop down to here, or it could easily pull a bullish SFP, bounce from this area, you get liquidated or you get stopped out here, and then it moves up. There is no strong move from this very price point right here. But yeah, I like what ICT said about how it looks like this market is constantly luring people to believe that just long 6K, free money, just long 6K. And we have all this resting liquidity right under here that it seems like they would want to tap. So yeah, I guess that's my analysis for today. Unfortunately, I'd like to be more clear, but you guys know me. I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm never going to steer you the wrong way. I'm not going to just put out a trade because just because the price action has been slow, because that's not what I do. I'm not here to, put people at risk when I wouldn't put myself at risk. It's, just very, patience sucks. It's a great thing to have, but, it sucks to have to utilize it. So at the end of the day, just remember, there's no profits if there's no capital. And if you trade moves like this, you better keep a tight stop. And if you keep a tight stop, you might get a hard stop run before you even get to enjoy the move. Remember, things always can happen like that before big moves. We can remember April, right when the April candle was about to move. We got a very strong stop run. Let's just take a look at that real quick. Let's get back to April here. Here's April. Okay, here's what was happening in April. We were climbing, and then you would have needed to have at least a 215 point stop loss in order to ride this journey. Otherwise, anyone who had a tighter stop got wrecked, okay? And a lot of the times big moves, have things like that occur beforehand, is that they run the stops in one direction before it moves. So just keep an eye on all that. Like I said, wish I had more, but gotta stay real with you guys, and that's the best I can do. We look forward to better days. We look forward towards some expansion here, and once we get some expansion, we should be finding some better opportunities. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day.